What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Migs Mayfield. And so here we have Migs Mayfield posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories. Migs Mayfield does come with 4 different blasters, which they're all the exact same blasters. They look really nice, they fit in his hands, or they do fit in his holsters. He also does come with his articulated blaster, which does go on his back, which looks really good as well. Other than that, Mayfield doesn't come with anything else, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Migs Mayfield. And so here we have a closer look at Migs Mayfield, and I think Hasbro has done a really good job with this figure. It does look a lot like Bill Burr's, which it's kind of funny. We got 2 figures of Bill Burr before we got some other live action characters, so that's crazy. But yeah, we do have him in hand. Now this is the costume that I really wanted to have him in. I wasn't a fan of his first release being in the Shore Trooper. Was it a Shore Trooper? The Imperial garb that he was wearing, that isn't what I wanted. I wanted this costume, and I know a lot of people wanted that. I'm glad I canceled my pre-order on that, because we eventually got this version, which I think is a superior version. It looks really good. I like the likeness to Bill Burr. Really good job there on Hasbro's part. Now moving on to his costume, it's a rather simplistic costume. It does look like he is wearing a sweater vest over his jumper, which I'm perfectly okay with that. I just wish it was a little bit darker, because it is a little bit on the brighter side. I don't remember it being that bright in the show. But yeah, I like the texturing on it. They did a really good job adding the texture to it, especially here on the back, how it doesn't have the texture. That's pretty much how it was. You can see he does have his sharpshooting backpack right here, because he was a sharpshooter. He wasn't a stormtrooper, but he was a sharpshooter. And I like the fact that this arm is articulated and you can have it pointing out like that. I kind of wish that it also pivoted rather than just a hinge, but that's still really nice. You can see he is wearing a dark blue jumpsuit underneath that, which looks really good as well. It does hide a butterfly joint somewhere right here. I like the harness as well. You can see it does holster his 2 blasters here really nicely. I like the fact that it is 2 different browns, as well as having the buckles painted. That looks really good. The detailing on his backpack is also very nice, and then he does have these engineer gloves, which also look really good. They are done in a brown plastic, so they match his belts right here. More detailing right here on his belt. As you can see, it goes all the way around into his side holsters, where he has 2 more blasters. I do like the fact that these are varying sizes. I think originally these were supposed to be larger blasters, but I like the texturing on them. They could use a little more paint, especially right here on the buckles. But overall, really nice details there, especially on this one. That needs some paint. That looks like a flashlight, or maybe some ammunition, something. And then he does have pockets underneath his holsters right there. So really good job adding some detailing right there. And then of course we move on to his boots, where he is just wearing brown boots, and they do have like this quilted pattern, which that's pretty standard in Star Wars. A lot of characters have this quilted pattern on their costume, at least somewhere on it. So yeah, it is really nice, and the detailing on his boots is pretty good. Could have done with a little bit of a wash, but we know Hasbro would only save paint for quote-unquote deluxe figures, and even then they still skimp on the paint. Overall, really do like this costume for Migs Mayfield, and this is the version that I wanted. I'm really glad I passed up on that first release, because I don't think I would have been happy with it. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Mayfield posed and compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Migs Mayfield posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Mayfield posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And for one final comparison, here we do have Migs Mayfield posed next to a Lightning Collection White Range and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Mayfield's articulation. Now Mayfield does have the new Black Series articulation, which is a double ball joint here at the head, which does let him look up. He can look down, can tilt his head side to side, as well as turn left and right. Then he does have a second ball joint, which does help him look up a little bit better, can look down a little bit better, and can tilt his head side to side. so that works really nicely. He does have a hidden butterfly joint right here, which doesn't really give him the best range of movement, but it does pivot forward and back, does go all the way around, as well as swing out to the side. No bicep swivel, but we do have a hinge in the elbow, which does go past 90 degrees, as well as swivel. He does have swivel and vertical hinges here at his wrists, so I do like that. He does have a ball joint here at the torso. Now, my only complaint is the way his backpack pegs into his torso. You can see if you move his torso at all, it does unpeg the backpack, so you do got to be careful for that. He does have ball joints here at the hips, so that does move forward to about right there, goes back out to the side. Then he does have a swivel here at the thigh, single bend at the knee going to about 90 degrees, as well as a swivel. Then he does have a hinge in the ankle going back about that far and forward that far. Really do like that range and movement. And then we do have forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, pretty standard articulation for Migs Mayfield here. So what we're going to do now is get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Star Wars Black Series Migs Mayfield pose for my final thoughts, and overall really do like this figure. Now, I wasn't a fan of the first Mayfield they released when he was in his Imperial disguise. I think that was a kind of a lazy figure by Hasbro, but I do understand why they did that. They needed to save costs somewhere in the wave. I kind of feel like they could have just given us another Stormtrooper variant and just called it a day, rather than giving us a version of Mayfield that absolutely nobody wanted. This is a version that everybody wanted, and it is surprising that Hasbro did this one second. Although I do like the fact that we did get Mayfield, I kind of feel like this is a figure we should have got first and then got the disguise version. I'm still happy with this version. It just boggles my mind why Hasbro went in that order. Mayfield here is done exceptionally well. I do like his wardrobe, even though it is a little bit simplistic. That's pretty much how he looked in the show. I was going to say the anime, but anyway, his accessories do look really nice, and they do work for the figure. I like the fact that he has storage for everything, and I do like the articulated blaster on his backpack. I kind of wish that it did pivot side to side, but other than that, it's still a really nice looking figure. If you guys can get hold of Mayfield and you're a fan of his character and his costume, definitely pick this figure up. I got mine off Amazon for about $24, which is a pretty much standard price for Black Series figures, even though they don't come with as much as they used to. Mayfield here does come with 4 blasters and his backpack, which that's pretty good by Star Wars figures standards these days. If you can find them, definitely add them to your collection, especially if you're a fan of The Mandalorian. And with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Star Wars Black Series videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.